What's up everybody, Shadow Ninja here, and welcome back to RageQuit. We got another video on the channel, and this is a game we haven't talked about in quite a while. Illfonic's Predator Hunting Grounds beta just ended, and as part of the PlayStation Plus, I got the opportunity to try out the game hands-on throughout the weekend-long trial, and I just wanted to share my thoughts, initial response to how the game feels, touch a little bit on the customization, kind of jot down some things I think should change, and just a reminder guys, the trial was only in beta, so this isn't the full game. And for those of you who are watching that have an interest in playing it and have an interest in playing in the trial, you cannot do that because the trial has since ended and is not available to anybody. But let's get started on the review. I think the best way to get this ball rolling is to talk about the customization. Predator Hunting Grounds has a really great customization setup. Nearly anything for the Human Fire Team faction is customizable, from camos on your guns to appearance, options such as face wear and different shaders. I think the game does a good job making the options open for the player. And of course, we can customize our very own Yautja Predator. We can change up the Predator's gender, which is really cool. It's a really cool addition. You can pick what kind of biomask you want to wear. You have different shaders for your Predator's skin texture and armor, different war paints on the mask, and you can change the color of the Predator's dreadlocks, or predlocks as they call them. On top of this, the Predator has a lot of different unlockable weapons like the Smart Disc and Combi Stick, as well as some new ones that we haven't seen before, like an Elder Sword and a bow and arrow. And the humans have a lot of different weapons too, including assault rifles, snipers, shotguns, and more. On top of all this, each faction gets 3 gear items and 3 kit upgrades, so there's a lot to choose from. All this stuff, excluding the upgrades and weapons, can be unlocked with these loot boxes called field lockers, where you'll get 3 random items and they're assorted into different rarities. It's not pay to win at all because for now at least they are strictly cosmetic and they're kind of easy to come by, which is very cool. You unlock these boxes by surviving matches, and you can accumulate these coins which you can use to buy the boxes with in-game currency. Overall, I really like the customization. It's a lot more expansive than I thought it was going to be. In my first prediction video about the game, I thought Illfonic was going to go the Friday the 13th approach and have every Predator skin defined by the movie it was in. But it's even better to know that we can kind of make our own Predator and choose what we bring in with us. And the human customization is great too. A lot of cool looking stuff. And we haven't even touched on the classes yet, but I won't talk about them too much because most of them are locked off for the full game. Let's transition over to gameplay, because this is what you guys are really here for. How does the game play, and is it fun? It kind of varies, to be honest. Starting off with the Predator game, please excuse my garbage gameplay here of me stumbling around as predlocks. So, as said before, the Predator can choose what he or she brings into the game, but also has some set gear like the classic shoulder cannon and the iconic wrist blade. But the Predator plays very different from Jason in Illfonic's previous game. Rather than just instantly showing your face and cleaning house on the humans, the Predator needs to plan its attack carefully, sticking mainly to stealth gameplay and picking apart the humans until they eventually are too weak to fight back. Ideally, the Predator needs to make use of its thermal vision and invisibility to keep itself hidden while tracking its prey, all the while staying up in the trees with a kick-ass Predator mechanic which lets the Predator seamlessly traverse throughout the jungle and almost has the fluidity of Assassin's Creed parkour. The Predator's movement feels very natural, and there's a good balance with its gear, because you have an energy reserve that can overload when it's depleted and shut down your gear for a limited time to prevent you from being invisible the whole time. I do feel though that the Predator is a little weak in some areas. I know in my human gameplay my team has killed the Predator a lot, and though it feels satisfying, it often feels too easy. But maybe that's because we were only playing against a standard clash, which gives the Predator an all-around build between health and strength. Now let's move on to the human stuff, because that's the majority of what you're going to be playing, to be honest. The idea is very cool. 4 live players drop down into the jungle and have to do one of many possible missions that the squad is assigned to. The players must complete these tasks throughout the jungle and are met with AI soldiers who they have to stomp through, all the while staying hidden from predlocks. The AI stuff is just what I wanted, and the objective stuff is fantastic. You'll never be playing the same type of mission once, and I believe there are different map variants and different places that the team can start off and you can vote where you can go, which is great. Of course, humans can muddy themselves up to make the Predator's job harder, and there's kind of a stealth aspect to it as well, considering enemy alarms and gunshots blip on the Predator's thermal. But in all honesty, when you are playing alone, it isn't very fun. Randos are always dumb in any game, but no one really coordinates. I often feel like I'm playing by myself, but I'm just stuck with 3 strangers who just happen to be a human in the same jungle. No one really communicates, as I just said. There's an in-game voice chat, no one really uses it, and no one stays together. And my team often got picked clean, but when I was in a group, it was very fun. Everyone was giving out callouts, it was intense, and apparently in a group of friends sometimes the server will put you in as the predator fighting against your own friends. So that's really fun as well. But unless you have a group of friends to play with, being a fire team soldier isn't that great. And as a whole, the game's graphics-wise feels very rough and clunky. Especially as they're humans, the frames will drop like a shit ton, making the game at times disorienting and unplayable. I think it's because there's so much going on at once with constant AI flooding in, the predator blowing shit up. I mean, the environments and the trees and the leaves, they're all destructible, so a lot of stuff is going on. And I realize it's only in beta, and that stuff will more than likely will get smoothed out. But as of right now, it feels very rough, but there's still fun to be had with it. Another problem I've run into is the matchmaking, and yes, this has been addressed by the devs, and they will fix it. But the solo queuing was ungodly long. It took me like 5 or 6 minutes to find a lobby most times. And I know I'm probably getting into some nitpicking territory here, but there's just a couple of things I would personally want changed. Starting with the UI. It's a little messy, to be honest. Health and stamina bars are straight to the point, but there's so much screen clutter. When the game isn't constantly dropping in frames, it looks so beautiful. I'd like to be able to see more of it, but you have the compass, the timer, the objective, the teammates, the health, the stamina, the gear, the minimap, and the currency you picked up. That's a lot of stuff on screen. Another thing is seeing your teammates outlined throughout the map. In my personal opinion, players should occasionally get lost when not directly following a teammate. This would make it more likely for groups to split and prevent the soldiers from clumping up and being able to take the predator head on in most situations. It doesn't feel like Predlox has any control over the situation. If players wind up losing each other, that would make it more intense and immersive because the movie was just like that. And there should be more for the humans to do after they kill the Yautja. If you don't already know, the fire team can either complete their military base objectives or they can kill the predator and extract his body for a higher reward. So what happens when you get the predator out of there? Do you just forget about the drugs you have to burn, or what about the captain you had to assassinate 5 minutes ago? It would be more rewarding for humans if the predator came more as a secondary objective. If the humans safely extract his body, they can either extract with it or continue the mission, but the AI difficulty could increase. It may not be a likely change, but it's better than just cutting to game over after a dumbass predator player jumps in and gets killed in like 5 minutes. But overall, I am definitely pre-ordering Predator Hunting Grounds. The game releases in a month, and that's plenty of time for the devs to consider fan feedback and apply the necessary changes to make the game as good as it could be by launch. But I have no doubt that these people will make something truly special for the Predator fans, because if the recent movies can't do it, the games definitely can. The customization so far is awesome and very well designed, the progression is satisfying, and there's a lot of stuff to unlock. The Predator gameplay is very cool, and the human stuff is okay when you're alone, but it's great with friends. The map is beautiful, and I hope there'll be different maps and weather options like raining or foggy. And I really hope they fix some of the minor things like the bugs and the constantly dropping frame rate. But overall, I had a very good first impression, and I would recommend it to any Predator fan. Stay tuned for my official review for the full game, and maybe some future update videos. But this is going to conclude this one. I hope you all liked it. You know what to do with that like button and sub box if you do like what I do here. I am Shadow Ninja, and you just watched a RageQuit video about Predator Hunting Grounds: The Trial. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you on the next one.